what's poppin', everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Zach Lesage here. Today we're going to be covering over one of the more interesting decks in format, and that is Regidrago V-STAR in its Regidrago box deck. Now, Regidrago has seen some success before, and it kind of vanished off a little bit, but now they're seeing a lot more success because we've recently added a few Dragon-type Pokemon into our format, such as Dragapult EX. I'll explain how to play this deck, the deck list, and some gameplay in this video, so give this video a like, share, subscribe, and let's jump into this list. And here we have it. Here's the Regidrago deck. It's based off some of the lists that I've seen on Play Limitless. More or less, a lot of lists are looking very similar, and the main strategy that we have now is to use Teal Mask Ogerpon using Energy Switch to accelerate energies to our Regidrago very quickly. So it's as easy as attaching energy from your turn to your Regidrago, such as a Fire Energy, using Teal Mask Ogerpon, getting a Grass Energy, and if you get 2 Teal Mask Ogerpon, you could actually attack relatively quickly. Now, Regidrago V still has to evolve into Regidrago V-STAR, and we still have to get Dragapult, Hisuian, Goodra, Raging Bolt, and Noivern into our discard pile. But we do have a decent selection of cards that can do a lot of damage, can block some Pokemon from doing attacks, can reduce damage, or some spread opportunities. All that being said, this deck seems like it has a lot of really cool options in it, and the list is available in the description for you to copy and paste it right into TCG Live. I'll explain over the strategy a little bit more in depth by going over some of the top cards in the deck, then we can jump into some gameplay. The main star of the show is going to be Regidrago V-STAR. Once we're able to power it up, we want to use its Apex Dragon attack to copy a Dragon type Pokemon that we have in our discard pile. That could be any variety of choices, but we really want to copy whatever we're trying to beat. So whether we're trying to knock out something with Bellowing Thunder on Raging Bolt EX, we're trying to use Covert Flight because our opponent doesn't necessarily have any options to combat that. Maybe we want to reduce our opponent's damage output with Hisuian Goodra's Rolling Iron, or we find that Dragapult EX's Phantom Dive is a better option. We could easily power up this deck by using Teal Mask Ogerpon's ability, Teal Dance, allowing us to accelerate an energy from our hand, and furthermore using Energy Switch to Energy Switch that to wherever we like. Not only is Teal Mask Ogerpon a way to accelerate energies to our Drago, getting them over there with Energy Switch, we do have an option to use it as an attacker in itself because it does take Grass Energies to power itself up, and that can be quite good if you run into a Charizard EX deck. Most of the supporters that we have in this deck are meant to either discard cards or draw into the cards that we need, because we do need to discard some of our Dragon type Pokemon so that we can attack them. Hawlucha gives us some opportunities to spread damage counters onto our opponent's Pokemon that might have 70 HP, giving us an opportunity to draw multiple prize cards with Phantom Dive, and Radiant Charizard is a fantastic single prize card attacker towards the later half of the game. A lot of this list was inspired by Luna Y, so shout out to her for having such an awesome deck build and interesting concept. Let's jump into this gameplay. So we're calling the coin flip, and our opponent won the coin flip and is going to decide who goes first. We typically want to go first with our deck so we can attach an energy and get our Pokemon, but our opponent's deciding to go first overall. That's fine. We'll just have to play from going second. We don't have any basic Pokemon in our decks, and you can see I'm starting to bling out my decks again, just having some fun with it. I think there's a lot of really cool cards nowadays and some individuality. So our hand here, not the greatest, but we do have Squawkabilly in our deck, which should allow us to kind of get whatever we want going on here. We'll see what our opponent's playing really quickly, and it looks like it might be a Charizard deck. Them starting Manaphy, so we could actually, if they're a Charizard deck, we do have the Myrid Leaf Shower. So as their opponent's going, if they are playing Charizard, they definitely should have gone second. And that's one of the reasons why this deck is so good, is because we have opportunities to just go first, because a lot of decks want to go second in this format. They're probably like, what in the Raging Bolt is this Ogerpon deck? And we're a little bit different than that. So we're going to actually start off here. I'd like to use Earthen Vessel, but first I'm going to go off with pitching these away. And what I want to search for is Squawkabilly if we have it. Because our hand sucks. I'll just be completely honest, I think our hand sucks a little bit. Let's go ahead and see what we got. Yeah, we're going to grab Squawk so we can just like fully reset this hand. And I think what I want to do is just go Earthen Vessel, pitching this away. I'm going to grab a couple Grass Energies. And before we do anything else here, I'm just going to go ahead and use Teal Dance. And we'll use Teal Dance. So we're getting set up pretty nicely. Charizard to me is totally a card that can get pitched away this matchup. Do I want an extra Fire Energy? I'm not going to be upset about having a Fire Energy, so let's go ahead and put the Fire Energy back. We're not getting these back because we actually want those into our discard pile, so we're able to copy them with Drago. So what we're looking for here is going to be a Regidrago V. And yeah, looks like we got there. Let's go Nest Ball for a Drago. We have an Energy Switch, so we have some cards that we can make things happen. I don't think our opponent's necessarily going to attack into us next turn. So what I'm going to do is just pass my turn to our opponent, see exactly what they have going on. This is really going to be our draw engine of the deck and our way to accelerate energies. So you might not necessarily see how we're going to get there next turn. I think there's a really good chance that we actually get everything we possibly need. And if worst comes to worst, we'd always just attack with our Teal Mask Ogerpon into our opponent's Pokemon. So this is your Fire Energy. And if they have a really bad hand, we might actually just end up beating them next turn because they don't have all the cards necessary. Depending on what we top deck, I'm pretty sure we just win the game here. So, what we want to do here is actually go Ultra Ball away, Dragapult. I don't think we need boss's orders right now. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab a Regidrago V-STAR. There's a Regidrago V-STAR. This only prevents damage done to your opponent's Pokemon. So we're going to go ahead and switch here. And the key thing is Legacy V-STAR can go into your discard pile and grab cards that you previously had. So I'm going to use Energy Switch from one of these cards. And we're going to go Legacy Star pitching the top 7. It might seem destructive to you, but the cards that we're going to end up grabbing are going to be Energy Switch, and it's going to be Earthen Vessel. We can now use Earthen Vessel to grab the Fire Energy that we need to win the game. But let's say we didn't have all that and we're looking for another piece. We could always use Teal Mask, Ogerpon to grab another energy. If we want to draw another card, we can draw another card here. So you can see there's a lot of cool things that you can do with a deck like this. And we haven't even played a supporter for our turn. We're going to go Energy Switch here, putting a Grass Energy there. We're going to go Fire Energy to our active. And if we look, we can see what kind of Pokemon we can copy. We can copy Dragapult's Phantom Dive. This is turn 2 with not necessarily the greatest hands. We're going to use Apex Dragon. You can see all of our available options that we have here. And we're going to go for Phantom Dive for the knockout on the Manaphy and just in the active. So we 100% are able to just steal games because our opponent doesn't necessarily understand what a Regidrago does because it doesn't have all the card attacks on it. But it's really what we have in our discard pile, and especially when we're discarding cards that turn, it can be quite impactful. Since that first game was so quick, we're gonna play another game to see if we can get another quick one. But sometimes you just win like that. We're actually gonna go first this time, so it's gonna show a little bit different stuff of what we had last game. So here we usually want to start off with our Teal Mask Ogerpon. If we're not starting off with a Regidrago, just because Radiant Charizard is going to only be towards the later half of the game. It sucks that we're going to have to like Super Otter figure it out like that, but I think our plan is going to be pretty simple with Teal Mask Ogerpon. Depending on what we top deck, just like really trying to discard stuff. I think what I want to do is I'm going to look through with Nest Ball first before we go in with anything. Squawk is really the card that we kind of have to go for here. Because I just want to make sure that before I pitch anything that I want to, which kind of energies I'm going to grab. I'm going to go like this, grab Grass. I should have discarded the Radiant Charizard. That's my bad. Probably just Grass. So I wanted to discard the Radiant Charizard so we could have used it back with Super Rod, but maybe we'll be able to get it later on in the game. It's also one of those things where we could just play it down, but we'll see however it goes. Let's go for Teal Dance first before we go for Squawkabilly or anything else like that. Is there anything else that we wanted to put back? We have the Noivern already. Energy Switch probably doesn't matter because we're going to pitch it anyways. So let's just go ahead and go for Squawk and Seize. We're going to pitch that hand away and hopefully get a Regidrago V. So we have our Regidrago V. We're going to go ahead, search that out, play that down. We're going to attach a Grass Energy to our Drago. And now we're just going to pass. Next turn, we should be able to Teal Dance. We actually should have all the cards necessary to get the knockout on Beldum, and whatever else our opponent puts down, if we're able to get Dragapult in our discard pile. They have to play the 70 HP Beldums just to get around some of this stuff, so I think like we got a decent chance of just knocking out some of their Pokemon, and hopefully they don't like just blow up on us, because them being able to take an extra turn could be absolutely huge for them. I think had we played a little bit better with the Super Rod and Radiant Charizard, I just didn't PTCG Live Misclick, would have been a little bit, because Fire type is very good against Fire type weak Pokemon. Okay, so not really too much that they have. This is actually kind of fantastic. So before we go with our Earthen Vessel, we want to just go ahead and use Teal Dance. There's a chance that we might be able to get something else. Goodra is not a bad one. And we're just going to try to pitch away that Goodra if we possibly can. So let's go ahead and grab a Fire Energy. I don't really care about, like, I'll just grab double Fire Energies because that's completely fine. Let's go. Fire Energy goes here. This is why we play the Hawlucha, so we could place damage to take these Pokemon and put them on 60 HP, so we have a way to draw multiple prize cards. We're going to evolve this, so at the very least, we can use our ability, search for the Energy Switch that we already have, and we can attack, but we don't have the Dragapults. So let's go ahead and use Iono. I don't know what our opponent's hand looked like, but their board's not that powerful right now. There's the Dragapults, sick. So let's go ahead, take out Dragapults, and let's get set up with another Regidrago V. Sometimes you just gotta get set up with the Pokemon. We've already used Teal Dance, and before we do anything else, I think I just want to go ahead and use Legacy Star. We still have to discard the top 7 cards of our deck. So when it comes down to it, we got to choose what we want. We need an Energy Switch to make this happen. The other cards that I care about are probably going to end up just being... I think we actually just go for a Super Rod back here, so our play is not terrible because we have ways to get things back, including that Radiant Charizard. Let's go for Super Rod. Or actually, before we do anything else, let's just get everything that we need to attack this turn. So let's go Energy Switch here. This is going to move the energy to our Regidrago V-Star. So again, turn to Regidrago. And do we want to use our Super Rod? Let's get back some of our energies and our Radiant Charizard. So Super Rod, Radiant Charizard, Fire, Grass. I think that sounds like a pretty good plan. And we're going to go ahead and go Apex Dragon, knocking out 2 of our opponent's Pokemon, copying our Phantom Dive. So you really want to just choose the attack that's going to make the most sense for your board state, but I think us drawing extra prize cards here by knocking out 2 of their Pokemon means they can't get out Matangs, which means they probably can't do too much stuff next turn. And now they're going to be forced to put down another kind of Beldum if they want to be able to use it. So they're kind of stuck in a really tough predicament when it comes to an attack like this. And the Hawlucha is absolutely a genius tech that we'll see, and that's a concession. We'll take it.
That's what we got for this video today. Hopefully you enjoyed learning more about Regidrago V-Star, and maybe you'll even pick up some of the cards from our sponsors at Kayfabe Cards and PTCGL Store. That being said, I hope that everyone's having a great travel back from NAIC if you're attending the event, or you're getting prepared for your next local event right now if you stayed at home. I know for me, I'm traveling back today, and I had to record this a little bit in advance, so if any Regidragos did well at NAIC, you're the real MVPs, and if not, now's your chance to try to be the best Regidrago player there is. Thanks so much.
Be sure to check out all of our sponsors in the description to pick up Pokemon TCG singles, sealed, and PTCG live codes. Our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week.